Are you always ahead of time when it comes to preparing for Halloween? Do you always have your costume planned and ready in advance? Are you one of those people who is never looking for an easy and convenient last-minute Halloween costume? Then this video is for you! Start getting ready for next year's Halloween today! I'll show you how I made this late 18th century dress that is perfect for Halloween, or for my fellow time travelers, perfect for a ball at Versailles. By the time Halloween 2025 rolls around, you can have a robe à la française ready for yourself too. 90% of this dress is made of fabric called cotton satin that I got at my local fabric store. I chose blue because I love it, but also because I wanted to reference this dress from Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette 2006 movie. Marie wears this dress when she arrives to Versailles. I started easy, and I made a choker first with a line of this adorable lace running down the center. Oh look, Alexander Meowington says hello. My unhelpful helper is always there to lend a paw. Of course, as an undergarment, I did make a chemise, but that's boring and basic and white, so we're moving on to something a bit more fun. The side hoops. For reference, I used Angela Clayton's pattern, her video will be linked down below, and I used some leftover fabric from my 18th century striped Barbie dress. The panniers, or the side hoops, will give the dress that iconic "my hips definitely do lie" shape. They tie around the waist, and there's a slit at the top so they can also function as huge pockets should the wearer require those. The skirt is two huge rectangles cut at the bottom with pinking shears. Those shears were working overtime for this dress. And then the dress is pleated at the waist. I added lots of ruffles to the front panel. These narrower ones are hand gathered at both sides, pinned to the dress and aligned nicely. As for this large ruffle that looks a bit different, this one is also inspired by Angela Clayton's design, linked below. It's a type of smocking where you gather these little triangles at each point and you end up with something like this if you do it right. I also added the waistband, of course, and because I wasn't satisfied with the amount of ruffles quite yet, I added one more to the bottom that looks like this. For the bodice, I used plain white cotton fabric and fusible interfacing to give it more structure. For this, I'm using a pattern that I drafted myself so that it will fit over the stays that I also drafted and made myself ages ago. What you're seeing here is the general idea, but it needs to be altered, so I pinned it onto my mannequin and tweaked it where I needed to. This is where the stays would extend downward, but the bodice ends at the waist, so we're cutting this off. And of course, for the bodice I also cut out the blue fashion fabric. I hand-stitched both fabrics together, added the hooks and eyes for closure. And don't worry about this is all gonna get covered by, you guessed it, more ruffles. Another word for robe à la française is a sack-back gown, and the sack is where I struggled. Here you see me arranging the pleats, and I did eventually get it to look somewhat decent, although it could have been more voluminous in retrospect, but oh well. And you can see me hand-stitching the top of the pleats down a couple of centimeters. I tried the dress on, I was happy with the ruffles, but the back needed some tweaking and the sides needed to be smoothed over and stitched down properly. Here you can also see the side panels in all their ruffled glory. Now, fun fact, the lining of the back is actually adjustable. I changed this to eyelets instead of ribbons that you're seeing here, but the end effect is the same. It can be cinched in or let out if the wearer requires a bit more space. That's the beauty of historical clothing. They were so much more accommodating, adjustable, and cleverly made, as opposed to today, where our idea of adjustable is one size fits all and stretchy polyester. Last step were the sleeves, which I drafted by looking at an online pattern. They are lined and trimmed with, you guessed it, yet another ruffle. This one matches the large one at the bottom. Lastly, ruffles and trims are added to the bodice to cover all those nasty raw edges. Now, enjoy the final reveal! I really like how it turned out. It was a month-long project, but those are often the best. Please leave a like and comment for the algorithm if you made it this far. I appreciate every single one of you watching, especially if you're watching sewing videos. I know most of you prefer commentary ones. And do let me know what you'll be doing this Halloween, and I hope to see you soon. Bye guys!